so-called digital divide is widening. That's the finding of the World Benchmarking Alliance, which has published its latest digital inclusion benchmark report at the World Summit on the Information Society Forum. The report finds that few tech companies had used their revolutionary power for good, urging tech companies to do more to ensure fairer access for all people, for more people to be economically benefit from technology. Well, to tell us more about the state of digital access and what needs to be done to make it more accessible, I'm joined by Nicholas Sewe. He's the engagement manager at WBA. Thanks very much, Nicholas, for joining us. Tell us a bit about the study that the WBA did, the methodology and its key findings.
Thank you so much for having me. The Digital Inclusion Benchmark, which is published by the World Benchmarking Alliance, a non-profit organization, assesses the world's most influential digital technology companies, 200 of them. The benchmark aims to highlight industries and companies that are currently leading the way in fostering digital inclusion in order to trigger a race to the top across the digital sector, as well as holding the laggards accountable. The companies are assessed on 4 areas, which is ensuring access to digital technologies, improving digital skills, preventing risks and harms, and ethical innovation that respects human rights. Overall, this year we've seen that there's slight progress by the companies in the benchmark compared to the previous years. But still, we are only seeing that only 14% of the technology companies are delivering on digital inclusion, which means that the digital divide is still widening.
Yeah. So, Nicholas, let me just come in there. So you identify some of the good companies, good tech company performers, as they include Telefonica, Orange, Apple, and Microsoft, and a couple of others. What is it that they've been doing to be more inclusive?
So 2 things that the top companies are doing well in the benchmark. So the first of all is that these top companies are conducting impact assessment on their corporate social responsibility programs, especially on enhancing digital access and skills. So for example, the Spanish company Telefonica is doing well in these areas. And then secondly, these companies are doing well in disclosures of what they're doing in areas of cybersecurity management, child online safety, and other areas of the benchmark, such as ethical artificial intelligence principles.
So the WBA is urging tech companies to do more to ensure greater access to technology. You've highlighted what the good ones are doing. What is it that the ones who are laggards, as you've described them, what do they need to be doing more of?
So basically, we are saying that digital inclusion is more than access. So these laggards need to provide more than access to these technologies, and the companies should ensure that people have basic and intermediate and advanced skills to use these digital technologies that they produce. And then secondly, the companies that are lagging behind in the benchmark need to ensure that the technologies are trustworthy, they're secure, and finally that they're innovating openly and ethically.
So if all the role players don't do their part, in the absence of an improvement in the work of digital companies, what do you see as some of the key risks for societies?
It's a good point. We see a potential of harmful technologies that could impact human rights, areas around personal data protection, violation of children's rights, and discrimination in general by artificial intelligence systems, which are quite widespread in the current society. So if there's no trust in the digital technologies, only powerful people will be making decisions on behalf of the masses, and this is not good for the society. And then finally, the consequences of not having access and digital skills worsens the digital divide, and therefore will not have an inclusive digital economy, which the Digital Inclusion Benchmark really advocates for by these assessments.
Nicholas, thank you very much for those insights. Nicholas Sewe, he's the engagement manager at the World Benchmarking Alliance.